Hello student. Now in this last unit, that is thermodynamics and phase equilibrium, we studied about a part, that is thermodynamics. Now here B part, that is phase equilibrium. Now in this phase equilibrium, first of all we must know what is meant by immiscible liquids. Actually, immiscible liquids are the liquids which are not mixing into each other, or the liquids which cannot mix into each other are called as these immiscible liquids. And these types of immiscible liquids are completely insoluble into each other. Try to understand what insoluble into each other. Now these liquids, immiscible liquids, they cannot mix into each other. They cannot mix into each other. Mix into each other. That is what? Insoluble into each other. Same meaning. Okay. If we take example of kerosene and water, or oil and water, or ghee and water, what happens if oil mix into water? What happens? You know, two layers will be formed in the beaker. Okay, such a line, we observe such a line. Okay, two layers are there. Why? Because they cannot mix into each other. Okay, in this way, such a two liquids which cannot mix into each other are known as immiscible liquids or insoluble liquids into each other. Now see first point, that is Nernst distribution law. For this you must know this concept, that is immiscible liquid. Here two solvents which are immiscible into each other are taken. Let me assume this is solvent A, okay, and this is another solvent. These are the two different solvent A and solvent B, and these two solvents, let me assume these two solvents are immiscible, or they cannot mix into each other. Okay, now take a solute, means a substance which is added externally. That solute is taken in such a way which is soluble into A as well as soluble into B. Okay, means if we add a definite quantity of solute and that solute is chosen in such a way that this solute is partition or distributes in both solvent or dissolve into both solvent. Okay, means after this if we add a solute, but which solute? Which is soluble in A and B. Okay, then what happens if such a solute is added? Then what happens? Due after the addition, what happens? Some amount of solute get distributed in this solvent. Okay, later on it passes into this lower solvent B. Again there is a distribution, and some solute get dissolved here, some solute get dissolved here. Let me assume here the concentration of solute is Ca in the solvent A. Let me assume concentration in this lower layer or lower solvent is Cb. Then this Nernst distribution law comes there, or Nernst stated that when such a solute which is soluble or partition or distributes into two immiscible solvents, then the ratio of concentration of that solute in the both solvent is constant, and this constant Kd is called as a partition coefficient. This is called as partition coefficient, or it is also called as partition constant or distribution constant. What is it called? distribution constant, or it is also called as a distribution ratio. Okay, now this is constant according to Nernst. That's why what is the statement of Nernst law? See, very important. Mathematically, we know two different solvents are taken, but they are immiscible. They cannot mix into each other. Okay, just like water and oil. Okay, some quantity of another substance is added there, that is solute is added, but solute chosen is in a such a way that is soluble in both solvent. Then what happens? When it added and allowed to stir, some part get distributed or dissolved into A, and some part of that solute get dissolved into this lower solvent, that is solvent B. Then according to Nernst, concentration of solute in first solvent to the concentration in second solvent is constant, and this constant Kd is called as a partition coefficient, distribution coefficient, or distribution ratio. That's why according to the Nernst distribution law, or according to Nernst distribution statement, we may say that if a solute X distributes itself in two immiscible solvents A and B at the constant temperature. During this experiment, the temperature should be constant at the constant temperature, and X is in the same molecular state in both the solvents A and B, then the ratio of concentration of solutes in both solvents remains constant. Okay, ख्याल में रखो, नर्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन लॉ क्या स्टेट करता है? अकॉर्डिंग टू दी स्टेटमेंट, ये जो सोल्यूट है X, let be assume this solute X is there which is added, this X solute added in two immiscible solvents at constant temperature, then it distributes into both solvent at that constant temperature, but that distribution, that dissolution is in the same molecular state, then the ratio of concentration of that solute in both of the solvent is constant. This is the statement, that is concentration of solute into A solvent to the B solvent at same constant temperature, and the dissolution at that time of dissolution of that solute, it must be in the same molecular state in both solvent, then this ratio is a constant. Now see the conditions for validity of Nernst distribution law. Now this is Nernst distribution law. For Nernst distribution law, we must know the solute and solvent. You know, solvent is a substance in a solution which is in more quantity, solute which is in a less quantity, or solute is a substance which dissolve into solvent is a solute. Later on, two immiscible solvents are there. Solute is chosen in a such a way which is soluble in both A and B, then the concentration of that solute in both solvent is a ratio of that constant, and it is when the temperature is constant and that solute distributed, that solute must be in the same molecular state.